Hello YouTube. I'm venturing out in the sun again. It's been pretty hot. I don't know why it's so hot out here, but it's not good for my health. That's why I'm wearing this hat. I'm trying to visualize, but I'm not getting any answers. Maybe there aren't any answers. When I was a kid, I used to dream about things. Like I would think about things, overthink about things. And I still do it now. Even though I'm 62 years old, I still question life. I have a freaking lip sore now from the heat, or it's cancer. I'm a little nervous about it. I don't know what to do about it. And since I'm a vet, nothing gets done. It's just all talk. Nothing ever happens. It's really sad. Sad when you know the truth, but you can't do nothing about it.
Or like parking up.
On the good news, I did wake up today. I have a water bottle. And I'm starting to understand why people I don't know if it was an idol, but somebody I admired back in the day was Chester Bennington. Chester Bennington was a rock musician with God, what band was he with? My memory's going. Yeah, Chester Bennington. Jeez, I can't even remember now. The hell is wrong with me? Lincoln Park. I was going to cut the video out, but yeah, Lincoln Park. He's up there in heaven somewhere. So, Lincoln Park was a band I used to listen to back in the day. Probably about 25 years ago. Almost 30 years ago, seems like. He actually passed away in 2017. But he had some emotional abuse, physical abuse back when he was a kid. And at the day when he died, Chester Bennington was worth I think it was 23 million, 30 million, something like that. That's a lot of money. You could buy a lot of crap. But he chose to take his own life. I'm sure most of it was from trauma. Had nothing to do with fame, had nothing to do with family, had nothing to do with all his money, cars. It didn't have anything to do with that. It's just the trauma that was trapped inside his body and his mind that he couldn't let it go. So it got me thinking. That regardless of how much money you make, how rich you are, how poor you are. Those things, they have no real bearing as far as you being able to let go of some of the trauma. And I guess the reality is that maybe it lives in all of us, and maybe nobody wants to talk about it because it's business as usual. So, I'd like to talk about it. I think it needs to be talked about. Trauma. What is trauma? Trauma. In my opinion, what I view as trauma would be something that you go through, you experience. Could be something early in your childhood. Could be something from, like, maybe you saw an accident, car accident. Maybe you got real sick. Maybe you were beaten as a child. Maybe you were yelled and screamed at and told you were a piece of crap as a kid. These are all things that I believe can cause an amazing amount of trauma. And even though you try hard to get past it, it's there all the time. So I don't really have an answer. Therapy can help so much, but then the reality is the therapy is pretty much like in a business setting. It's not really too, I don't believe it's like nurturing. I think it's just like business as usual for a therapist. I mean, maybe they're good at what they do in a clinical setting, but I don't understand how they can actually understand trauma if you don't actually go through it. Like, if you don't actually go through a time in life where you're beaten, or you're told you're worthless, or you've just been beaten down by society and life, I don't personally think it can help. In fact, I think it could do more damage when they're telling you to change the thoughts, change your thought process, become, more what? That would be the question. Like, more what? What do you expect people to do? Because people are going to be who they are. And so those are some of the things I think about. Like, what is the real point in seeking any type of therapy when you're going to be left with your own emotions at the end of the therapy session? And you may be hurt even more. Some people can seem to deal with it a lot better. But some people can't. Some people need help. And sometimes that help is just, it's like staring up at a cloud. You're not going to find it up there. So maybe that's why people have dogs. You know? Another thing I realized as I'm walking through here, it's turning into fall now, is that we don't really have any control over certain situations. We just have no control. There's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. Alcohol doesn't do it. Smoking doesn't do it. Crack definitely doesn't do it. For me, it's always just been walking. Getting away from the nonsense of life, the drama. Yeah. These are the days of our lives. That is probably the biggest thing that I question is, what is the point? I was watching something where, and this is like good for like old people, where you get older and you're kind of questioning, where does it go from here? So like, what is the point? When you're done doodling, playing video games, loofering your stretch marks, what is the point then? Maybe it's just to enjoy your time on Earth. Not think too much about it. I'm strolling through the park. There's nothing really left to do today but stroll through the park, so I'm just strolling through the park. Hey, Mike. Strolling through the park one day, I met a lady and she started to say, "Give me $1 and I'll make you holla. Have it a wonderful day." So it's definitely getting cooler out here. It's still a little bit hot, not too bad. Yeah. Still kind of hot though. Still hot. Probably about 80. The difference out here is it's a simmering heat. It's a humid heat where it can be kind of cheesy. When I drove out here from California, I went through a lot of different places, a lot of different seasons, or not seasons, but a lot of different climates. Not climates, but A lot of different cities. Yeah, there you go. And saw pretty much the same thing everywhere. McDonald's, Bojangles, Jack in the Box, Walmart, Target, GameStop. So many companies, so little time. Yeah, just non-stop products and services. It's like, if you stop right here. There's no products and services. None at all. That's why I like coming out here. There's absolutely no products, there's no services. You can just flop around, and when I get tired of it, then I go home. Thank God I have a home. But you can't sit in the house 24/7. You'll go nuts. You'll lose your mind. So I have to get out. And I have to get out. I have to go. I'm sorry, but I have to go. So I just leave. And I've been doing this for years. I'm still overweight, but I think that's the thing that happens with old men. Old, creepy men. I'm not an old, creepy man, though. I don't want to view myself as that either. So the retirement thing is very interesting because I find myself thinking about my old life all the time. Back when I drove a car off a cliff once out in San Diego. I didn't actually drive it off, but we pushed it off after I drove it up on the bank on the cliff. And then I've been, I did some pretty crazy things. Karaoke bars. It's not crazy, but karaoke. I bought a Camaro out of the blue. Traveled across the country in a Camaro by myself. Flew to Japan by myself when I was in the Marines. And now, as I'm 62 years old, I'm at the final stage of my life. This is the final, it's not even a race. It's just it's the time of reflecting about your life. I mean, were you a good person? Did you try hard? Did you work hard? Did you screw anybody over? Did you backstab your way to the top? Not really. If anything, I've been my own worst enemy. Trying to fit a triangle in a square peg, square hole. But amongst all those, I will call them failures of life, there were some successes, you know. Like the Marine Corps, I made it through there. I made it through the reserves in the Navy. I made it through electrical school. And I made it through being homeless back in my late 20s and early 30s. And the abuse as a kid and the suicide of a dad. And then being born to an alcoholic mother who died about 15 years ago. somebody, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years, yeah, 15 years ago. And then a stepmother who died a couple of years ago. And they've all passed on. And I was kind of left with some trauma from that, I think. Just wondering what happened. Like, how did they die? Old age or something. Something. They just died. They all just died. And I'm still alive, which is crazy. I did twice as much crazy shit as they did. Oh yeah. Nights of getting drunk, fights, bar fights. That's what that cheek sore right there is. If you can see it. I got hit with a glass by an Asian girl in a friggin' Asian bar in an Asian beach. Actually, it was a bar in San Diego called Dream Street, San Diego. This happened probably about 1989. And I left that place 20 years ago because I did not want to deal with it anymore. No more drunken, crazy friends pounding on the door at 6 o'clock in the morning. No more of that. I got so tired of that. Just got so sick of that. Just got tired of it. So, I'd like to think that the changes I made saved my life. Doesn't mean I'm happy all the time. Nobody's happy all the time. Nobody's happy all the time. That's a fallacy. And you certainly don't want to bend over and just let everybody run over you. So, you have to stand up for yourself, but you also have to know when to just concede. Say, okay, I'm not going to fight this anymore. And I'm just going to let whatever happens, happens. And not fight it. Not try to control the situation. If my car starts, my car starts. If it doesn't start, it doesn't start. If my lip heals, it heals. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. If you see me on the side of the road and I'm crying out in pain, you can throw me a penny. Or not. I have no idea what I'm rambling about, but I'm just rambling. What else? In the news, there's another thing that's so freaking ridiculous. It's like, what do these people think when they eat breakfast? I mean, Donald Trump. And the people obsessed with people like Donald Trump. Like, who are these people? Who are these people that flock to these venues just to be a Trump fan or something? I don't know. I have to admit, he's good at playing his cards. He played some very good cards. I wouldn't want to play those cards, though. I wouldn't want to be like that. Rushing off into an airplane, eating McDonald's. Well, yeah. All right, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching.